What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Sunday. Now, hopefully you guys can see me. I messed around with some settings earlier on, and I don't know if it's kind of worked or not. So I upgraded, I haven't upgraded my hardware, but I put the bitrate up and did all sorts of crazy stuff. And so when I was trying to render a video, it was a disaster, and I couldn't even edit it because it was so bad. But hopefully it's going to stick with us. Fingers crossed. Anyway, it is Sunday night. That means that we need to walk and talk through this week. What can we expect? Equally, what are we seeing on the charts? All of that we're going to get into tonight. And I guess the answer to the question is, well, hold on a minute, Tubit. Everyone's going long on the market. Everyone's buying. We're going to new all-time highs. Tyler Video says, I'm still in stablecoin. That is true. That is true, by the way. We've only been, or certainly I have been, just trading a little bit. I'm definitely down for very opinionated views. I want to discuss whether we believe markets are going up, markets are going down. Is there more to come? I got some charts I want to show you. We'll take a look at the actual price action and all of that good stuff, all right? We're going to get deep into it here and try and understand what's going on because it's an important time, isn't it? It's an important time. I think everyone's kind of relaxed and sort of, recovered a little bit from that dump arena. But anyway, we'll get into all of that. We'll sort of discuss what's going on and everything else, all right? Anything you guys have got on your minds, any thoughts and opinions. By the way, not sure if I said, so yeah, hopefully that'll work out as well. Hey, bro, how you doing? I'm good, behave. Good to see you, man. Tomato Pizza here as well. JFR, welcome in. Welcome in. Tomato Pizza here. Viva la Bacon. Number 9, bullish on that. Selmo's here. Tim's in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Shout out to all the TikTok fam as well. Big rebound. Next up, 100K. Gostus is bullish. Good evening, 2-bit. What's going on, Brent? Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Well, it feels like only appropriate thing is to get in some charts then, doesn't it? Let's talk about it, all right? What's going on, Rob? Good to see you, man. 15 days and no sunshine in Aberdeenshire. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's what Rob's having to deal with. Anyway, welcome in, as everybody. I've got my other phone, so I can kind of see what's going on. All right, there's the chart, baby. There is the chart, and let's talk about it. All right, KTO, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Joshua, Zill cryptocurrency is pumping up today. 2-bit and volume today skyrocketing. Looks like a bull flag on the weekly charts for Zill. What the hell is Zill? I don't even know what that is. Tim, share that space from far away. Sup, legend? Stu's in the building. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you all had a good Sunday. I've had a good Sunday. Spent it with the missus and the kids. It's been good. Why is this not? What is going on here? This feels... Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so we're on the dailies. As always, we're going to do something a little bit different, but I feel like people enjoyed it last time. So we'll work through the higher time frames, work our way down to try and get a feel for what's going on in the market. Shana, thank you so much, man. I don't stream on Saturday nights. Yeah, I don't stream on Saturday nights. I have a Saturday night off. I enjoyed it with the missus, although I did fall asleep on the sofa about, I don't know, 9:30 or something. I was absolutely wiped out yesterday, but we're back and we're here. Don't forget, I do put content out today. If you haven't seen my Bitcoin update video, I highly recommend checking that one out, by the way. It was good. Seeing Andrew Tate's view on crypto. Yeah, I'm probably waiting for 25K, which, by the way, I think is insane. But anyway, everyone's buying the dip. Is that a good idea? Yeah, I can imagine, Rob. I bet you are. I bet it's terrible out there. All right. Let's get into it. It says, I've sent out a search party to find the sun for the UK. Yeah, no, tell me about it. It's awful. So let's work our way down the time frames and then let's kind of get to a narrative. I'm going to stick in a couple more, ranges, which will be, I thought we could do another day. Oh, that's kind of annoying. We had a custom one. Yeah, here we go. Look, days. We got the 2-day, 3-day. Let's do 5-day. Because that'll be Monday to Friday, and then we've got a week, which is 7 days. All right, cool. Cool. We want to take a look at that. So let's walk through where we are and then kind of work out, I guess, kind of what our views are. We'll go from high time frames to the lower time frames to kind of get an idea. I want to look at futures markets. We'll take a look at them, and I've also got some pretty interesting news that we'll share with you guys as well. Time to dump and hit the way button. See you all October. Maybe. I mean, that's definitely a debate right now. Looks like Bitcoin double bottom at 68K. Well, the bottom actually was right below our target range here, which is kind of annoying because if that trade had have hit, then it would have been great. The problem was I was short all the way down and my TPs hit 59,950. By the time I'd even thought about going back long again, it was already pushing back to the upside. So, some people will say to me, well, 2-bit, that's why you're so bearish because you want it to drop back down there. But at the same time, I've been around this space long enough. And like I said, it's important that we just walked it through. Also, I got this back up, which is great news, all right? So I was kind of wondering where this was, but found it. And obviously, we have our liquidity stuff as well. Also, we may or may not, just FYI, I have actually got my Bitunix account here up. So we might do some live trading as well. Maybe. We'll see where the market feels like. We might put a trade on to sort of see, depending on where we get to. By the way, if you want to join me over on Bitunix, links pinned in the chat. Also in our Discord. Some insane offers, by the way. No one else is giving you the same offers as what we give you here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. 50% rebate bonus. Absolutely insane. Check it out. Worthwhile, in my opinion. All right. It's certainly a very bullish exchange. All right. So let's get into it then. So what do we see here on the weekly candles? Well, not the greatest. All right. I think it's fair to say. If we were to take the, the uptrend here on the Fibonacci, what are we seeing? Well, we're looking for some key levels to break. 786 at 74,000. You could argue and say, well, if we get above 74,000, this might be a little bit more bullish. You got a little bit here on the volume range that could indicate some volatility within there, but you'd argue here on the weekly candles, we are very much, I think, very much bearish right now. Below the trend, yeah, you'd say, well, hold on a minute, 2Bit, we went up there. But look, perfectly hit on the 20-day EMA. You got a bearish cross here. Also, stochastic RSI is also trending down. The only good thing you've got here on the weekly is volume, all right? Weekly closes in 2 hours, 58 minutes. It's clearly going to close red. The positive is it is above this range here at 68,000. So that's a nice wick back above the 200 EMA. Again, positive here. But the weekly's not giving us lots to be super crazy bullish on, in my opinion, all right? Nothing super mega. We're definitely looking for that higher range that we just talked about. Could be indications, though, when we get back above that. You can see the support levels we got there. But I think the weekly time frames still look pretty rough. Equally, when we look at it kind of from that way. Can we do this and put that on there? We can. So again, we can, this is like a super boring chart, but money flow, you can still see money flow is out. So money is flowing out of the markets rather than in. And even when you've got dumping, people can be getting ready to buy the dip. So this would be, we'll take a look at a really, really good chart later on. I'll slick dead quick forward just to show you, which is this chart. It's stablecoin net position change over the course of the last 6 months. But we'll take a look at that. So again, money flow is definitely still out. Stochastic RSI still selling down. So weekly, not super bullish here, and probably gives us some confidence. I say confidence, probably not the right words really, but some view that we're probably going to go down. Might not be this week, might not be next week. We'll take a look at what my view is. 5-day chart, it's a pretty similar story, albeit slightly better. And you could argue here for both scenarios, it says, well, look, that was obvious. Look at the volume index here. There's next to nothing. This is where the true test comes in. So around the 200 EMA, also breaking back above these lines, about $74,000 here on the 5-day chart. Very similar, by the way, to what you get. So nothing really changing here. It's not until you start to get into the 3-day chart that we've obviously had that really strong bounce back above some of these key levels where you start to get maybe a little bit more optimism here. We're still well out of the range that we need to get to from the fib on the 3-day, and the 2-day is a pretty similar story, by the way. In fact, I might get rid of the 3-day one. We probably don't need the 3-day, do we? Let's get rid of that real quick. So the daily candles, obviously this is an interesting one, I think, on the daily. You've got not a lot of movement here, very, very quiet. Equally, you've got a real obvious top here at 71,500. And when we get into the shorter time frames, this is for me a really, really interesting range to short from. Again, this, we talked about this kind of potential of consolidation between this range. And actually, you could argue that you've got this real obvious kind of bounce here. And when we go into a smaller time frame, I'm going to leave this line up. You can see that there is some real momentum. And I've talked about this before, and I promise I will do this at some point. But where we trade the grid bots, this is a perfect setup for trading grid bots right now. In my opinion, by the way. In my opinion. We've been in the bear market for 1 year, I think. Many people said January 2025, they reckon the bear market was here. But I don't know how you can be a bear market and break multiple all-time highs. That doesn't make any sense to me. Josh says 125k to 70k seems a healthy correction. Yeah, it's about, what was it? 55%. People believe 70. That would be in line with what we've seen previously. But no altcoin season since 2021. That's true, Josh. That's true. So anyway, on the daily candles, not a lot going on. You can see this volume range here, though. So this is important, by the way. But again, all of our EMAs, the exponential moving averages are all pointing to the downside. What's interesting, though, is where you start to look at money flow here on the daily, you start to wick this back to the upside. Obviously, when we get above the green line, that's generally seen as a very bullish move versus where we currently sit right now. So money flow here on the daily looks pretty good. 12-hour, well, you could start to say, well, hold on a minute, 2-bit. 12-hour actually looks pretty bullish. All right. And I would say, no, you're right. That's right. We've still failed to break 71,500. I'll show you the importance of 71,500. But you could argue, yeah, that is definitely an upside move. For me, this is the resistance line, 71.5 up to around 71.870. A break above that, then yeah, we could be up for the races. I still think we retest the 20-day EMA, but again, the 12-hour actually looks reasonably good. 4-hour chart, starting to paint a real obvious picture here. Look at that line. So not only did you have it wick here, where it acted as support that then became resistance on the bounce, it's doing exactly the same. Look how many touch points you've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then obviously we've been rejected heading back down. So this range becomes really interesting. You have to forget this bit, okay? The debate whether Binance wrecked the market, whatever it is. But again, you've got this really obvious setup coming in. You could argue we've got a big M pattern playing out, which M patterns generally down to the downside. W patterns are what you want to see. That kind of bullish reversal, 10 to breaks to the upside. Remember, you can get all of this free, by the way, in our No, it's not free, actually. So, yeah, it is free if you sign up to be a premium channel member by simply becoming a channel member on YouTube. You get it free, all right? We've got all our chart guides, as well as trading strategies, indicators, everything else, all right? Super bullish, okay? What you can also see, by the way, here on the 4 hours, this is a really heavy part of volume range. So loads of price activity. If you look at order books equally that I have here, obviously, because we're just absolutely stratted up to the max tonight, then you can see kind of why there's so much range between this, because you've got next to call in terms of liquidity. Look how low the quantity of BTC is. And it's a Sunday, but look how low these ranges are. Awful. So you get big fluctuations. Market makers love it. Told you on Friday, the bottom is in. The CME gap will close this week. Well, the CME gap's at what's the CME gap? Lower, isn't it? So you'd argue that you would then say this is going to be a push down. Praying for euphoria stage and phase 4. Let's hope so, Josh. Yeah. Good evening, 2-bit. Swiftcoin, SWFTC, please. We'll take a look at it. By the way, I'm hedging my bets both sides. Spot bags are still there. I told you guys I sold a little bit of XRP on Friday morning, was it? Or Thursday morning before the big push down. I sold it at 149 or something like that. Which, by the way, it's 143. So I did buy back in a little bit and I cashed a little bit out. Nothing super crazy, but yeah, so we could definitely see a further push down. We'll see. I mean, we'll talk about the futures market. I have it here, as well as the overall futures market as well that we'll take a look at. So 4-hour chart looks pretty interesting as well. Now, it isn't when you start to drop into the lower time frames and where we really start to get a feel for what's happening right now, and then potentially where this is going to set us up, right? M&W, I thought it was... Get out of here. Get out of here, Miles. You can't say, the bottom is in. Common man. I mean, that's true. Catching up with Lambo. Shabs, what's going on, buddy? No, the price will range here until futures opens, and CME gaps are around 84k and 93k, I believe. Are they? Bitcoin futures. Are they really? Am I just tripping right now? Isn't the CME gap here? Where was the close on Friday? All right, the close. Yeah, 71,655 was the close on Friday. So I guess you could argue there's a little bit of a CME gap, not a lot though. Not a lot, but yeah, 74k, right? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll take a look at the overall. We'll take a look at the overall futures markets for everywhere. And we'll see. So here on the hourly chart, look at this. I think this is playing out really, really interesting here on the hourly. So you can see here that, we got a very similar pattern here where we wicked up, retested this upper range, got rejected, came back down. Likewise, exactly the same. Now, you can see here, what is a marginal positive. Sorry, I'm not very well. Marginal positive is still holding the 20-day EMA here on the 1-hour chart. So we could wick down again, potentially 70,500, still within that range. You can see the big volume profile. Potentially we've got rejected 71,484 is that range. Similar to Sorry here. So we did wick up, retest that 71.8 range. But look, we did, however, get rejected on that. The positive is once we broke, as usual, above the 20-day EMA, we are holding that. So a couple of things I would think about here on the 1 hour. A break below the 1 hour, 1 hour EMA, 20-day EMA, the yellow line could actually see us push down. Now, that's not to say, though, that, look, the yellow line's going up. The 20-day EMA is pushing to the upside. It's going to cross the 100, which technically is a bullish sign. You can see money flow here coming in. Stochastic RSI is pretty flat as well. So you could argue that we're going to see a little bit more upside momentum here. Bear in mind, we're still 3 days from, the big crash that happened. So, as much as we can be super crazy bullish on it, there's still a lot to it, all right? And I think you've got to be very mindful of how you walk and trade this market. Again, I'm hedging my bets with my spot bag still in, and then I've got capital to trade the shorts if that's what we need to see. DC spot, low leverage, long, high leverage, short. That's the way to do it, Curtis. I sold 100k XRP at 141. I have to buy back order at 130. Nice. Okay, what's going on? 84k, 93k. What on the CME gap, really? I'd say the local bottom is in. Perhaps later this year we can go down further, but I think we trend up for a bit. Yeah, possibly. Definitely possible. Hope we see China buy cryptocurrency this week. We won't. They just banned it all. If you saw my video earlier on, by the way, China have gone absolutely nuclear on banning crypto again. So, yeah. They're definitely not going to be buying any crypto this week. Unless they're doing it in secret, which, again, is a possibility. But, yeah, China have literally banned everything again. So anyway, here we are on Bitcoin on the 1 hour. 30-minute chart printed a very similar story. 15-minute. You can see my opinion here on the smaller time frame here on the 15-minute. We did come down. We broke the 20-day EMA, holding here on the 50. If we get a bounce, fine. If we don't, I suspect we probably push down a little bit. Maybe we push down into the open, the Hang Seng, obviously opening, and US futures opening in, an hour and 50 minutes. So, we'll see kind of where they go. Expect extreme volatility, not to the marks I would trade, in my opinion. Have you looked at grid trading bots on which platform? So I have done grid trading. I've done it on Binance, I think was where I did it before. And I'm going to say MEXC, but there's lots of noise about MEXC at the minute. So I'd just be really careful with that one, personally. But yeah, I did it on, I think Bybit might do it as well, but I've definitely done on Binance and I've definitely done on MEXC as well. So yeah. What do you think about Jim Cramer saying the CNBC? Yeah, I posted that in my video. I think it's a bit hearsay. I mean, it's Jim Cramer, isn't it? I mean, maybe, would it make sense? Yeah. They'd have to be, I mean, everything's recordable on the chain. So it'd be like, where are they doing it from? But I mean, possibly, I mean, yeah, it'd be crazy. Be crazy. What's wrong with, no. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it, by the way. And I've got quite a chunk of money on there, just sat on there in stablecoin. So I said, I just heard that quite a few people were kicking off about MEXC. Like, I think if you're in the millions, then you probably, that's where I've seen the problems. But yeah, if you're not. Andy, what's going on? Holy shit, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Welcome back, buddy. What's your tip for 2026? I would definitely be subscribed to this channel. Make sure you're here every night. That's my view. Brother, please say the name of the indicator on the right-hand side. Volume. Oh, this one. Yeah, so it's VRVP. The volume. Holy shit, what is it? VRVP. I can't remember what it is. Volume ratio, volume profile or something like that. It's free, so you can get it. And then set your rows to 86, I think it is. Just curious what's been said about it. Like, so someone that couldn't withdraw 3.5 million. I've never had any problems, by the way. I've never had any problems with it, FYI. But yeah. So yeah, 15-minute look. If we break back above the 20, then, we might get a little push. Here's the big line, though. Like I said, this is the line at the 71,800 short-term line. You can see, look at that. Almost perfect. 71,500. If you were, potentially wanting to do that, you could maybe take a little trade, a little cheeky trade here. If you were, by the way, I'm not advocating for trades whatsoever. That's not what I'm doing. But there is obviously the option. What am I looking for here? Why can't I find it? What is going on? What is going on? Oh, there we are. So yeah, so potentially you would enter it like you'd go here, wouldn't you? Get super tight stop loss at the, the 71,800 line. And then you'd want to TP down at the 50, and that'd be my entry point there. Potentially. I'm not saying that's what you'd do, but this is kind of where we might do it on Bitunix Live, maybe. We'll see how the market plays up. The one thing that's making me a little bit uneasy about this move on BTC, by the way, is the rest of the market isn't particularly great. I mean, Asta is being pumped to death, but I absolutely believe this has been, deliberately pumped. Swiftcoin, I don't know why that's pumping 13.5%, but it is. So, yeah, I'm a little bit uneasy about the fact that Bitcoin is the mover and groover. Maybe we get some solid movements on, ETFs this week. It doesn't feel like it, though, which is a bit strange. And then the rest of the market's pretty cooked. I mean, Hype's up a little bit. Quant's moving. AIOZ, I have no idea why that's doing 11%. I mean, XRP ETF is looking pretty bullish for opens, as are commodities markets, so gold, silver, all looking like they're going to rally pretty aggressively on market opens. According to the stock market, we'll hopefully kind of get that nonsense out of the way. I mean, I would expect the Japanese yen to move this week, so I don't. That's not me being like funny about Craig as well. I genuinely think that we could get a move on the Japanese yen, mainly because obviously they've voted the new governor in like 100%, aren't they? Just like, yep, get her in. 15-minute looks bullish. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Sailor bought again. Well, he allegedly is going to buy, yeah. I said that, though, didn't I? I said at the start of the week, Sailor definitely buys this week. Definitely. Zill cryptocurrency getting more popular faster than I thought. Zill, have I heard about that before? I don't know if I have. Let's have a look. Zill. Oops. Is that Zilliqua up 9% on the day? This. How's MicroStrategy looking on futures? We'll take a look at it in just a sec. Is it this one? You said it is this one, Zilliqa. Looks wild. Looks terrible. I don't know if it is that one, but anyway. Thoughts on Brevis? I don't know what that is. 2-bit and Craig of yen sleepover pies. I don't care about the Japanese yen. I just think it's brilliant that Craig loves it. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. All right. Willoughby Financial doing a little bit better than the rest of the market after doing work. Yeah, I mean, there was loads of FUD with Willoughby Financial, wasn't there? You're always going to get that. You know, something tied to the Trump family is always going to feel a little bit more of a challenge. But hey, we'll see what it is. All right, let's see what it is. All right, TikTok, you guys come over here. I'm sorry my face is so close to you guys. Let's just chat. It just makes life a little bit easier for me. Thoughts on Pionex? I've used it before. They normally have some out there altcoins, which I kind of like about it. They have trading bots on there as well and grid bots. But yeah, I'm really like, honestly, I've been using Bitunix recently for trading. I have a little bit on Mexi. I sold everything out of Binance and Coinbase. Like I'm clear of both of those exchanges. So yeah, I kind of, there's a couple of like smaller exchanges I kind of like, but yeah, Bitunix is kind of where I'm at right now. It's a great platform, really is. Brevis is all on the, really? Crypto Mac? All right, I'll take a look at it in a minute. I'm just YOLO long on Willoughby Financial, but very wary of trying to, yeah, I mean, at the minute, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, good to see Fats on it. Swiftcoin has loads going for it. Yeah, I heard that. I think we've kind of talked about it for a while, so. Okay, good. Right, rest of the market, dead quick. Overall market cap, 2.39 trillion, bouncing back quite nicely. We also have the total 2, which is everything minus Bitcoin and stablecoin, up a little bit. BTC dominance is rising, so again, just be mindful. Pretty trending in the middle, but nothing super crazy. And then obviously the couple of things we're looking at, the BTC versus gold ratio. Again, another reason why I think we come back down. Didn't hit on the line that we expected it to. So, oh my God. Yeah, all right. You need to have it not on logarithmic. So, but anyway, you can see kind of where that's playing out. It needs to come down a little bit further before that becomes a thing. And like I said, Bitcoin may be about to break 71,000 here on the monthly candles. You can see how that's setting up. So, yeah, pretty interesting. All right. We'll keep Bitcoin there. And then let's take a look at some other bits. Buy the dip, everybody. Fear and greed index. Look at this. FTX collapse. We were at 12, 10, 10, 9. Now, I mean, it's not 9. It won't be 5 now. Well, it'll be slightly higher now, but fear and greed is a good indicator. Like they always say, the market's super fearful. That is your moment to be greedy. And if you're not, well, then fair play to you. Fair play to you. I missed the beginning of the show. Are there any bullishness with the Japanese snap election? Well, I said I think the Japanese yen might rally a little bit this week, which, depending on what they do, though, because she was going to dump in like trillions of dollars of stimulus into the Japanese economy, which essentially will pump the price of the Japanese yen, which means that it's less favorable to borrow Japanese yen if you're in the US, which may mean you get an unwind in the markets. I don't think it'd be super crazy, and I still think they've probably got a little bit of time to put their stuff together, but yeah, you have to kind of wait and see what happens with that. By the way, if you haven't already hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, do me a quick favor and do that. That would be great if you could. Just help out the channel, helps out the stream. Also, put your questions, keep chatting, all that kind of stuff does help out, push those up in the algorithm. So if you haven't already, just give it a quick thumbs up, then highly recommend doing so. Also, tapping the screen helps on TikTok as well. So shout out to you guys. All right. So again, let's walk through some charts then. Let's walk through some key parts. Let's walk through some kind of key bits as to where we kind of get to, and more importantly, how this can then play out in this. The historical bottom zone. Now, I know what you're thinking, how the hell did he define a historical bottom zone? Well, I'm assuming it's just some sort of algorithm that works. Hey, OPF Norfolk with a gifted membership. Thank you so much, Betamax. Welcome into the gifted, by the way. Thank you so much. Let me know if you're in our premium Discord. Let me know if you're in the Discord, actually. We'll give you access to the premium Discord where you have our trade bots, trade setups. Also, we've been putting some full market analysis in there over the course of the last couple of days, so definitely check it out. It's worth it. It's totally worth it, by the way. Enjoy that channel membership. You got some nice little cool stuff next to your name as well. So, historical bottom. Now, what it tells us, though, at 70,600, we're not there. Now, whether you believe 50K is the bottom, I don't know. Some people do. Some people don't, all right? Depends what you think. But arguably, if you said, well, we think 50K might be the bottom, then there. It's my view why I think we could push lower. And I'm going to walk through a couple of things that I think we could. 2018, 2026, playing out pretty much exactly as predicted. From the cycle top, we get the lowest bottom. Everyone then starts to get super excited. We pump back up before we go lower. Not much lower, but historically, this is kind of what happens. You can see it in 2021. Arguably, you had, FTX collapse, which made it a little bit more difficult. But, essentially, this is kind of where we go. And at the same time, and by the way, again, I've hedged my bets both sides. So if we do pump to a new all-time high, great. My spot market will be fantastic. But historically, you don't get this massive dump. Remember, $2.5 billion worth of liquidations happened. It essentially wiped the entire long trade market out. You then don't pump to brand new all-time highs. There's no liquidity in the market. And remember, we touched on liquidity last time we were live. So worth thinking about when we get to that. Also, the gold or the Bitcoin supply and profit loss ratio. So when these two diverge, these historically then tell us that markets are going to go up. You go all the way back here, 2014, right the way through to 2017's bull market, 2021, post-2019 move. And again, we saw the 23 into 2024 and 25. So again, we want to see this come together, this consolidation to the sideways lunge, and then you could argue maybe we see that upside momentum. Just another indicator that I think that we have another potential leg down. Time of Crypto saying the same as well. Market structure back from 2021's bull market. We dipped lower. FTX collapse was in here. So we were kind of already screwed at that point anyway, which I think is why people are freaking out about, oh, let's make sure you get all your money off exchanges like FTX collapsed last time. I mean, the only one that allegedly's got some potential question marks, which almost feels insane that I'm even saying it, is Binance with all the noise that we said. I don't believe for a second that they are insolvent, because they will have been checked, I believe, when they fined CZ and Binance $4 billion. So you'd hope they'd checked. But again, could be an indicator that we are going to go lower. Equally, you just bounce off and head to the all-time highs. Who the hell knows, really? We can only speculate and try and work through what logic is telling us. Curtis, I probably the same, actually. I was like, I'm done. I saw some other YouTube videos saying it's all on-chain, that they have their assets. I mean, it must be. I mean, they were the advocates for on-chain reserves, weren't they? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What's going on, Fairground? Good to see you. I don't comment a lot, but always listening in the background. Crypto Mac, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Feel free to comment, by the way. It's great to have discussions and conversations. I like it. I like everyone kind of chipping in. It's good. That's how we get to a good place, I think. So, yeah, worthwhile certainly watching it. Now, a couple of charts I want to share with you guys that I think TikTok, I think you need to see these charts. So let me just move you. I know I keep moving you back and forth, but it is easy enough. All right, let me just show you these charts because I think they're important, right? So the first chart I want to show you is this one, Bitcoin's magical line. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, 2bit, what is this you've pulled out? Where is this from? Well, it's all of the very much key indicators that, people use in terms of Bitcoin's price. So you've got the 128-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, the 365-day moving average, and the 200-week moving average. So you'll have heard people talk about these key lines. The big purple line is the 200-day weekly moving average. That historically, every time we've bottomed or broke below, historically has then seen us rally from that point. You can see here back in 2020 before moving back up to 2021's all-time high. You can see back here where we had in 2015 before we then went higher into 2017's all-time high. So historically, these are generally the picks. Likewise, the bottom here in 2022 before we then went all the way up to our new all-time high. Here's the problem, right? Dead quick. We haven't broke the 200-week moving average. Here's the problem with that. You would then assume that then this cycle, the next cycle, everything else becomes different. And as we all know, everyone's told the 4-year cycle was not true and all the rest of it. So again, we could bounce off this and it just becomes a lower retest that we had before going higher. We've sort of seen that. But if you look historically all the way back to 2016, maybe even a bit before actually, 2015, we've never broken this line or even come close to it before then going. I guess the last time was 2019 off the top of the 2017 bull market cycle that you could argue and say, well, maybe this was it. But I think we did actually, we just touched the line there back on the 16th of December. So this is an important chart. In my view, we sort of keep an eye on the 200-week moving average. If we break below it, then, that could signal that, yeah, the bottom's in and away we go. Maybe it doesn't, and we never get to that point. Interesting if you ask me. And this one, another one worth noting, by the way, stablecoin net positional change. So this is kind of where you've got the aggregated stablecoin supply. So is it being sold? Is it being bought? And historically, what you can see there is that when you have a diminishing supply, so essentially the green means that you've got people absolutely aping into stablecoins like you wouldn't believe, which normally is people buying into the market. So you can almost then attribute, if you've got a pump in stablecoins, these are people looking to buy assets, okay? They want to get into whatever. When you have it negatively, then historically that tells us that you've got a downtrend in the market. So you could argue that, look, maybe we see a slight reversal coming in, but you know, what we can say here is that the value of stablecoin is outflowing from exchanges. People are cashing out. Pretty interesting if you ask me. So 2 very important charts, I think, that depict where I believe we are right now. And again, people might say to me, well, hold on a minute, 2-Bit. You were the guy that was like super bullish. And within about a week, you've changed. And like, yeah, because we had an outflow of $2.5 billion. And we went from basically 80,000 to 60,000 in about 4 days. It's a pretty bearish move, if you ask me. I feel bullish on tokenized assets. Eventually, USDT is coming back. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And like I've said, by the way, I just don't think there is a rush right now. And I think so many people potentially are going to get wrecked right now. If you didn't time the bottom at 60K or 62K or whatever, then I just think so many people could end up FOMOing this and losing out. How do you see bleeding? How do you see blending the Witkoff method with yellow lined? What? Yellow line silly. I have absolutely no idea what that means. No idea. I'm a very simple person. I didn't really believe in technical analysis till about 2 years ago. So if you're asking me like what is the, you know, the price ratio of the groundhog, I am just the most simple person when it comes to TA, because I just don't think you need to complicate it. Human nature plays out on the chart. But if you explain it in a little bit more of like a layman's terms or like a thicker Yorkshire term, then I might be able to help out. But I have no idea what that means. Not a clue, by the way. I'd like to give it a shot, but I'm also wary if the stock market is a correction like the S&P. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Frank says, buy more XRP and wait. XRP is making a huge move. Make sure to hold in a decentralized wallet and back up to Web3. Yeah, Elapal, we talked about this the other night. Elapal, Tangam, pretty good. I've been watching stocks trying to trade, but I didn't do any homework this weekend. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really done anything. I was out. Okay, buddy. She wanted to know who did. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It just sounds like a really complicated thing. Choppy till October. Yeah, maybe. Blending the Witkoff method. Yeah, I just don't even know what it is. I'm literally going to make it up if I try and answer it. How can I keep to Web3 network? By connecting your wallet. I love my Elapal 2.0. Yeah, Elapal's good. Like they sent me 2 wallets. I still have them here, look. Elapal Titan 2 was great. And they also sent me the X card, which I haven't really used, but it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So there is a link in the description, by the way. You get 10% off. Use code 2BitCrypto. Is it a good idea buying XRP now or holding? Well, Dean, I mean, my view is I think the market's going to go down. So I haven't bought anything in, man, like must be months in fairness. Probably months. I haven't bought anything. I'm just kind of waiting and see what happens. I don't necessarily think there's a rush right now. You know, I think this is kind of where FOMO gets you. And I think at the same time as well, you know, if everyone's telling us, oh, we're going to the moon, everyone's buying in, and all of a sudden this huge volume comes in, it would not surprise me one bit if we don't get a big US dump tomorrow. Would not surprise me in the slightest. Yeah, no hype. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. XRP back to 0.5 this bear market. Next bull back up to BTC. Wow, Surge is super bearish on XRP. Well, according to Surge, then I'd definitely wait. All right, just in, Goldman Sachs warns of a sell-off may not be over, by the way. Goldman Sachs says US equities face further downside risk with systemic sell pressure building into the week. The bank warns that trends following funds have alleged triggered sell signals in the S&P 500 and could unload up to 33 billion in equities this week. So, yeah, stay close to it. If stocks continue to slide, CTS selling could reach 80 billion over the next month. Notably, Goldman says even a flat or modest rising market may still see CTS selling due to positional resets. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but, you know, they're a bit closer to the markets than others. I'll probably set up a DCA plan in a separate exchange. Yeah, I mean, that is the other bit as well. I mean, at the minute, you're almost in a world of going, hey, you know, Bitcoin's at 70K, like it's certainly undervalued versus where it's been. Yeah, Trust Wallet is the safest and non-government wallet. We are advised to hold our cryptocurrency bonds. Trust Wallet. Am I missing something here? Isn't Trust Wallet just an app? Fats I hope you keep pricing discount DCA. That'll be my plan. Yeah. Not super bearish, just an estimate. BTC falls 70%. Well, 70% puts it around 45K, doesn't it? I think so. Anyway, we also need to talk about who's going to win, New England Patriots or the Seahawks. Go Seahawks. I have no idea, by the way. I don't really follow American football. I'm going to watch it, though. It'll be fun. All right. Good. Okay, let's talk to you through a couple of charts. Let's talk a little bit about Japan because I think it's worth it. So, look, I'm going to proper butcher this, but I think the name is Takashi. Takashi? Anyway, the lady from Japan secures Japan's largest post-war victory, consolidating power for aggressive economic reforms. Like, this is the thing. Don't forget, she was going to absolutely stimulate the bloody Japanese market like crazy. Crypto tax cuts, asset reclassification gain momentum under strengthened LDP mandate. I mean, it'd be bullish if she like drops the tax rate, like goes like UAE on everyone. Holy crap, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Takaishi. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Fairground. I love it. Okay. So Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takashi, often dubbed the country's Iron Lady. I mean, there was someone else called that. She ruined a fucking entire part of the country. Secured historic landslide victory on February 8th. Snap parliamentary elections. A Liberal Democrat Party, the LDP, is projected to win between 274 and 326 to 465 seats in lower house. It's wild, isn't it? But she was, so look at this. Japanese stock market, the JP 225. Look how much is up. Like, holy crap. It's absolutely wild, by the way. I think futures are pretty bullish as well, if I'm honest. So yeah, but I mean, it's pretty crazy, in fairness. If you think about how, like, crazy this is going to be. And, yeah, here we go, look. So under discount for fiscal year 26, she could reduce gains tax to around 20%. I mean, that's going to be pretty crazy. Allow loss carry forwards for 3 years. I mean, think about that. It's insane. And reclassify certain digital assets as financial products. That would be bullish. Let's hope she pumps Jasmine to oblivion. But think of that. Think about, imagine being able to write your losses off for 3 years post that. I mean, Jesus. Brilliant, if you ask me. Brilliant. But yeah, anyway, so pretty crazy, by the way. She's going to absolutely pump this market, which might not be great for US stock markets, but hey, we'll see. Might not be good for US treasuries as well. Think about that. Husker Nation says, when do you think the crypto market won't be affected by whims of BTC? Never. I think it always will be. I think it always will be, unfortunately. The same as, like, global markets will always be affected by the dollar, even though people don't think it will be. It just will. It just will. Because the trouble is, 9 times out of 10, people's strategy is make money in altcoins, meme coins, whatever coins, and then they put it back into BTC. If you believe BTC will be the store of value or be this the coin that everyone goes back to, then you have to assume that that will always move the market. So, yeah. Always move the market. I'll be asleep when the Super Bowl is on. It's only like 11:30. It's not too bad tonight. I don't know when it starts. It probably starts about 4 in the morning, doesn't it? And there's like loads of nonsense between them. But anyway. So look, I think we need to stay very close to what is announced, particularly from a stimulus perspective. You almost don't want the yen to pump. Like, if I'm honest, you don't want the yen to go crazy because that will unwind a little bit in US markets. Also, worth noting here, this is for anyone who's holding XRP, who, maybe are pretty bullish on XRP, but a massive surge in South Korean volume, specifically XRP. Look at this. Look at some of this volume here right now. XRP, $346 million. Like, South Korea, love it. Love XRP, by the way. You see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana at 57 million. Brevis. Who was talking about Brevis? Where the hell's Brevis come from? I don't even know anything about this. Anyone else know about Brevis? Let's bring this up. Brevis. It's a $40 million market cap. It's down 6% today, by the way. 98 million in volume. I don't even know what it is. Brevis, eh? Well, it's going wild right now. Who the hell would have thought of Brevis? Well, ISO 222, I'd say the likes of HBAR, EP, XLM, yeah, I mean, that's true. XRP, yeah. I mean, I think you're probably right, in fairness. Don't forget, ISO is enacted as well, though, by the way. So ISO's already live. It went live in November last year. But yeah, I mean, basically, you just want some sort of integration. Who was saying this is going crazy, by the way? This looks terrible. Now, it's clearly a new launch, by the way. And it's on Binance. Wow. Is this one of those other Binance launches? The whole point of cold storage is to air gap from the internet. That's what, I mean, the Elipal one's good. iCryptoMat, there we go. What was it, an IPO or something? I mean, it's dumped hard, but with anything like these, I mean, how long has it been out for? It launched at what? 12 o'clock on the 6th. It's been out a couple of days, right? Been out a couple of days. Oh, no, it's been out a few days, actually. Launched 6th of January. Okay, yes, it's been out a few days. I mean, maybe it comes back. You reckon ETH will go down again? I think so. I mean, I think the market's going to go down. Interestingly, I was watching... I'll show you guys this. So I've got my Bitunix chart up. I plotted the Fibonacci here, and it's only the 5-minute chart. Because I was like, okay, we're definitely topping out here. There's my lineup. Look at this breakdown now below the 0.5 Fibonacci test here, 70,800. Like, it's going down. It's yelling timber. You better move. Wow, yeah, Brevis is looking pretty crazy. And Zill, man, you guys were telling about that one as well. Okay, there must be new launches, are there? Anyway, anyone that's suggesting connecting cold storage to the internet is a scammer. There we go. You don't need to connect. Why would you? Yeah. You don't need to Yeah, you don't need to connect your core wallet to internet, do you? You just plug it into a power source. Big business, yeah. It's concerning now people in the UK do not even have... I mean, yeah. I mean, that's true. It depends how you define it, though. Just meaning cold hard cash in the bank. Like an absolute... Because I don't have 100k in the bank, by the way. Having said that, I'm 42. So, yeah, I'm not 33. I passed that. But I probably had 100k when I was 33. I've just lost it all in meme coins. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, moving on dead quick. Right. Futures markets, everybody. Then we'll get into your thoughts and questions and anything else you guys want to talk about. While at the same time, BTC is coming down. It's going to retest the 618 Fibonacci. There we go. Bosh, through the 618. Is it going down to the 786 at 70,498? Back to that support line? Maybe. Maybe. At some point, the blockchain will integrate with traditional finance. It's going to have to look at the signals worldwide. Some will survive, while most won't. I agree, Husker Nation. The point here, and you know, it's always worthwhile looking at a macro picture. If you're invested in blockchain and crypto right now, you are earlier than 90% of the world. So imagine when 50% of the world's all on chain. Like, you know, it's coming. Whether we'll see it, certainly whether I'll see it in my lifetime, I don't know. But, you know, it's bullish. All right. Anyway, futures markets for tomorrow actually look pretty bullish. I'm not going to lie to you here. So the Dow Jones looking like it's going to be up 1,200 points. It's pretty crazy. Obviously, this is going off the end on the 6th. So, you know, futures all look pretty big, in fairness, which is kind of crazy. Hang Seng and the Euros also look like they're going to be up. Futures markets look pretty bullish, in fairness. Hang Seng up 479. What else you got? The Nikkei 225 looks like it's going to open over 2,000 points higher. Like, what the hell, bro? Pre-markets look wild. Pre-markets look wild. A nice one, Tim. Yeah, get rid of it, Tim. Thanks, mate. The OPF, shut up, bro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, Tim's on it, though. Tim's on it. Yeah, so futures markets look really crazy, by the way. Really, really crazy. Outside of Asia, Asia does look a little bit like you're going to see a little bit of potentially selling off. But overall, like, you know, pretty bullish here. The Nikkei, again, the big one, I guess, on the day. This will change as we kind of walk through, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, no, why we don't normally get anyone. Saeed, what's going on, buddy? Everyone that wanted to get into crypto is doing better than me. Yeah, I mean, Mark Noby, tell me that. Yeah, I know that feeling. When Nostros and Vostros accounts won't be a thing. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds pretty important. But I think the banks and exchanges will come to a deal, and this is where the 20k stablecoin limit comes in. They will allow you to have yield, but cap. Yeah, I think so as well. I think so as well. Yeah, don't DM anyone on TikTok. If anyone's asking you to DM them, Casey, I don't know if you can get rid of these people. If someone's saying, hey, DM me, they're a scammer. Don't DM them, all right? They are 100% trying to take your cryptocurrency. If you're brand new to crypto, you're still in a world where you're not quite sure, join my free Discord, right? Join the free Discord. It's totally free. Go into the general chat. Post a message in there, either a moderator or myself. I'm the only one with a red name on it. I will never DM anyone. Don't DM anyone who's telling you they can help you out. It's just a scam. This community is all about helping. Get into our free Discord. It's totally free. You have to verify. That means you don't get loads of choppers in there, but get in there. That's the place to do it. I think I should probably set up a new channel that's like crypto questions that people can just post a question in there. But get in there. It's totally worth it, by the way. Check out my bio, links in there, join, verify, super easy, and then get in there as well. And do we want to send I don't send friend requests. I know that, like, I was with one of my friends yesterday, and he was saying, oh, I'm in your Discord, but you keep sending me a message. And he was like, I've known you for like the last 20 years. Like, why do you keep sending me messages? And I'm like, it's not me. It's definitely not me. Anyway, no one will ever ask you personal information. Exactly, Casey. Shout out to you, buddy. Holding it down. Matt Noby says Super Bowl stats in a couple of hours. I'm going to be like recording some content, by the way. So if I can get the Super Bowl up, I might stream it into the Discord. If anyone's up for it, I don't know if people are, but I'll be doing like content and some rendering and probably thumbnails and stuff like that. So I might have the Super Bowl on. So maybe we all jump in the Discord. That'd be kind of fun. Don't hold me to it because I might end up falling asleep yet, but we might do that. That'd be kind of bullish. All right. So futures markets look pretty solid. If I'm honest, they actually look like we might open up pretty interesting. By the way, US futures opens in an hour and 20 minutes. So we will see. However, BTC short term, man, why did I not take that short trade on? A short trade would have been great. Would have been great. Yeah, we can do that. I mean, maybe we just stick to, maybe we stick to this. This might be a bit more of a fun chart to watch right now. The old Bitunix chart. We can just see it like happening a bit more real time, can't we? Is there any way I can make this bigger? Oh, there. Oh, look at this. This is miles better. I mean, you don't get quite the same technicals, and quite the same EMA numbers, but hey, this is great. Look at this. We can kind of keep an eye here on the 5-minute chart. Bullish. Bullish, everybody. XRP, yes or no? Yes, long term. Would I buy it now? Not sure. My view, by the way, just FYI, is I just don't know why anyone would buy anything right now. I think, you know, you've just pumped like 16, 17% off a dump. So that kind of feels like we're probably due a correction. And yeah, there's just a real uncertainty in the market. So it's a bit like, would we? Should we? I don't know. I don't, you know, that's kind of my view. Mouse, what's going on? Hate a bit high. Oh, you touched it earlier. Yeah, use Revolt more expensive than other platforms, but do you think it's more secure than Coinbase balancing? I don't know anything about Revolt. I thought those ones, so Revolt, Uphold. Man, who's the other one? Is it like trading 212 or something? I thought they just gave you the value based on the asset. I didn't believe they actually hold the asset, which is very like, as in, can you actually withdraw? Can you withdraw crypto from Revolt? Tap saying crypto and choose compatible. Oh, maybe you can then. Okay. Okay, maybe you can. So I thought there was a couple of others that you couldn't do it on. Maybe it's like Uphold or something. Oh no, Uphold's got a big one of them anyway. I can't remember. But yeah, as long as you can withdraw it, then it's fine. I would argue that anything that's custodying your crypto isn't as safe as if you are custodying it yourself. That's just facts. Now, there are some benefits to it. Like I said, and I've always said this on the channel, by the way, as much as so many people go, oh, get your money off exchanges. It's an app, you know, not your keys, not your crypto. Like, come on. You know, if you're in like Uncle Bob's exchange, I'm not sure that I'd want, you know, $500,000 worth on Uncle Bob's exchange, but at the same time, you get some benefits for having some. I wouldn't have a lot of my portfolio on there, but you know, again, don't forget you can get like very low trading fees. You can get very low swap fees on exchanges versus DeFi, for example. So I'm not necessarily in that world where I'm like, you shouldn't have anything on exchanges. Just be mindful that if it's not within your sole custody, then you need to be mindful. At the same time, Stardox is a good point there, actually. If, let's say, for example, and I think it's very unlikely, but go back to 2000 and... No, when was it? Like 19... Was it like 1970s or something? And the US government went, right, we are confiscating gold. In essence, governments... So look at... Where's Gavin Newsom? I'm not great on US politics outside of the main stuff. Where's Gavin Newsom? California? Is that right? Is he the governor of California? Someone tell me if that's right. I can't remember. Standard plan on Revolt, you can't withdraw. There we go, you see, yeah. There we go. So, in that sentiment, you might as well get on an exchange. California, all right? So they just passed a law that says if there are crypto assets on an exchange for longer than 3 years with no activity, then that becomes government property. So that should tell you everything you need to know, by the way, that I think as long as, Governor of Goblin Town, I think as long as you are sensible and staying close to it and doing all the things you should do, then fine. But understand that the only way they can do that is because the exchange will let them. They couldn't do it, you know. Yeah, they passed that law. Do you not see that? Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, they're class it as property in California. So yeah, it's wild. So if you do have crypto and it's on an exchange and you haven't done anything with it for 2.5 years, go and do something with it because they will take it away from you. It's wild. Evans says Ripple and Iron Nostra Vostra $27 trillion sat idle in banks unlocked with XRP built in DEX. Nice. That's within the state, not a national. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. In California, that's what they've passed. Yeah. I'm not saying that's a national thing. That's why I said in California where Gavin Newsom is. When they say active, does that mean viewing your wallet? No, I think it means actually transferring it. So if you just have it in a wallet, yeah, we can still hear you, but the sound has changed. Oh, really? Hold on a minute. Is that better? It shouldn't have changed. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I can try a different microphone if that helps. 1 second. Is that better? Hopefully that's come back now. It should be... sounds fine. All right, cool. I wonder why so many people had left. Like, everyone's like, oh, screw this guy. Sounds awful. But yeah, definitely watch out for that. But yeah, I believe it's if it's not done anything, i.e. not, oh, it does include logging in. Okay, so yeah, if you haven't logged into an account for 3 years, then yeah. First time here is the host from the UK. I'm from the UK, yeah. From God's own county, mate, Yorkshire in the United Kingdom, Australia. G'day, mate. It's ridiculous. So you can open and view your wallet every day for 3 years. And that, well, no, I think by the sounds of it, they're saying that as long as you open your wallet, is that true? Yeah. It's kind of crazy if that's true. I mean, even the thought of it, though, the fact that you could have like just your crypto wallet emptied if you don't log into an account for 3 years is insane. It's insane if you think about it. Like, you know, you build all that time up and then, oh, go away. My computer's asking to restart. I hope it doesn't restart. It's going to get awkward. It's going to get awkward if it restarts. But yeah, pretty wild if you ask me. Pretty wild. All right, let's close this down. Order books. We've got the order books here just if anything's going through. I haven't seen anything super crazy. Volume very low on a Sunday, so we're not expecting anything wild. Do me a quick favor, though. If you haven't already, give us a quick thumbs up. Massively helps out the channel. Tap the screen if you're here on TikTok as well. Would appreciate that. Also, if I haven't already shilled this enough, join our free Discord. It's totally, utterly worth it, all right? In my opinion. If you want to get access to the premium Discord, it is becoming a channel member. It's about $6 a month. It's so worth it. We've got 2 bots in there that you can do TA with. They'll go and find you Dex coins. You can check all that sort of stuff, as well as our technical analysis. We post updates in terms of markets, what we think trends are going to be, all of that good stuff. Definitely get in there. Any balance user DM? Savin, what's the problem? And if you have got a problem, join our Discord. But anyone coming in saying DM me, I'm not going to trust it. So if you've got a problem, put it in the chat and we'll try and help you the best we can. The fact that they want to take your crypto is very interesting. I mean, that's true, Mouse. Yeah, it is. It's true. Mushrooms in the Barbie too, but let's do it. Revolve, Solana, BTC, ETH, Polygon, ARB, AVAX networks available to send and receive coins. Nice. Yeah, Revolt looks like it's okay then, in fairness. Yeah, I've seen loads of FUD about this wallet. Like, oh, so in fact, should we take a look at it? Someone apparently transferred 2 point something Bitcoin into Satoshi's wallet. You guys see that? Do we not have this on here? Bro, what the hell is wrong with me? Why do I not have it on here? Let's bring up Satoshi Nakamoto's wallet. Yeah, look, like people are like transferring Bitcoin into it, or it's like taking some taxes or something. Wild. Let's move it up a little bit. Yeah, look, is it? Yeah, 2.56 Bitcoin. This wallet. Why would this wallet transfer 2.56 Bitcoin into Satoshi's wallet? Like proper, like, what are you doing, bro? Why does that never happen to me? I mean, do you see that? Is it Thumb transferred 620,000 Bitcoin out today? I mean, what the hell is that about? Yeah, pretty crazy though. Pretty crazy. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just transfer 2 Bitcoin to Satoshi's wallet. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah, it's insane. It's no different than banking cartel freezing your bank account over with cold wallets. You're outside of that. Yeah, exactly. I would highly recommend getting a cold wallet. There is a link to Ledger and to Elipal in the description if you are interested, by the way. I think with Elipal, if you use code 2BitCrypto, you get 10% off. I mean, maybe. Maybe. Rich people do things for lols. I mean, that's true. I mean, imagine being in a place, though, where you can transfer 2 BTC, like, just, and don't care about it. Like, you just don't care. You're like, ah, whatever, like, 300 grand. No dramas, mate. No dramas. Like, send it. Send it. I don't care. Man, I would happily take 300k off somebody. I'd keep 10% exchanges. Yeah, it's probably sensible. If I don't get 1 week, I'm disappointed. Bro, people don't send you BTC. No! If you don't get 1 a week, I can work out. No one sends me any Bitcoin. What would happen if money ever left Satoshi's wallet? The market would go to 0. Let's be absolutely crystal clear on that. I mean, it wouldn't go to 0, but yeah, I mean, people would freak the fuck out, wouldn't they? Because they'd be like, holy shit, like, he must be alive, or like someone's hacked. Like, imagine that. Imagine any money left that wallet. I personally think, by the way, this is just my personal theory and opinion, is that wallet was almost like a null address on Ethereum. I don't think anyone's got access to it. And if you were sensible, you just wouldn't have that wallet. So if Satoshi is alive and whatever, he would like have that on a separate wallet. Like what you should be going is looking at those Satoshi era wallets that no one really cares about when people sell from them. But yeah, it'd be like, I think it's like selling from the deployer from a project. Like, it would just completely collapse everything. Everybody would be like, oh my God, it's a big scam. Like, get the hell out. Like, everyone's just freaking out right now. Be wild. Thoughts on Solana? Yeah, look, I'm still holding my Sol, and probably shouldn't have done. Probably should have sold some more of it. But hey, it's staking earning me 6.45% yield, so I'm fine with that. Yeah, well, it was 620,000 fake Bitcoin that they sent out to their consumers, which also you kind of go, oh, can't believe they just magically made it. But you go, holy crap, they literally sent out 620,000 Bitcoin that people thought they had in their wallets. It was all fake. It was not real. You're like, how did they even do that? How are they even sending me this? That's how FTX collapsed, isn't it? Alameda Research with its $1.6 billion leverage short under like red balance. You're like, oh my God. I mean, maybe. I mean, that's why I think the wallet's just what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's insane, by the way. Think about it. Like, they can literally send out fake Bitcoin. It's wild. It's wild if you ask me. Right. What's going on right now? Here we go. Look. 70,000. Where are we on BTC right now? 70,600. I mean, where's the range right now? I mean, this range is pretty interesting, isn't it? Like, proper interesting range there. Do we get a bounce or do we go lower? I think we go lower. Do a poll. Is Satoshi dead? All right, got you guys. Let's do a poll. Start a poll. Is Satoshi? I'll put still alive. Feels like a nicer question, doesn't it? Feels like a nicer question. Satoshi's a robot. Fairground. I should have put that in there, shouldn't I? How's the Bitcoin chart looking? Yeah, looking all right, actually. Looking all right. I still think we go lower, by the way. I still think we go lower, but we'll see. Maybe short term. Maybe short term. I mean, we were discussing this, weren't we? We were discussing this the other night. You know, if you were looking for a potential short, I mean, this could be an interesting entry there. You just, you know, you're going short that range. Tight stop loss just above the wick there. And then yeah, your TP1 ends up being somewhere down here, probably about there. Could be an interesting one. Although BTC is coming lower right now. It is coming lower. Maybe. What if Satoshi was never alive? Oh, that's a question that who knows? You're sending us down a completely different path. What if Satoshi was never alive? It's wild. Wild to think about. Right, let's close that. I need to save this wallet, actually. Let's get that into the wallet section. Wallets, save. All right, we got it. Let's take a look real quick at BlackRock's wallet. Just see if anything's going on here. I don't think anything will be, by the way. BTC is a beta test coin with original devs being put into NSA original. I mean, a lot of people say that, don't they? If only we could go back to, like, what, 2013 and be like, hey, what's this crazy Bitcoin stuff? Who is it? Live trading was mentioned at the beginning of the show. Yeah, I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? I mean, this is the thing, though. If you're going to live trade, you still got to be able to get a shout out to Burn. BD, what's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you guys. Oh, Savin. Come on, bro. Satoshi popped out for the milk and never came home. Well, that's also true. But yeah, I mean, look, if you were going to trade this live, you've got two options, in my opinion. You could take a long trade from here. So what am I looking at? So you can see this wick here. You get these kind of wicks here. So you say, well, maybe if I was looking for an entry on a long trade, these wicks over here, look. I pressed the wrong button there. Then potentially that's got to come in, but you can't force a trade. But I mean, that could be a potential bounce off 70,400, or you go even lower. But yeah, that's kind of where my view is. Satoshi, what do you think? That'd be wild if he was, by the way. That would be absolutely wild. It wouldn't be hard to believe Satoshi was one person. I mean, that's also true as well. I don't see a good entry. I'm looking for a short. Yeah, I mean, the entry for me is if it wicks back up to this part. That would be my entry for a short there. On a very short time frame, personally. Derek from Stockport. I'd love it if he was. I'd actually love it if he was Derek from Stockport. But my personal opinion, by the way, is I do think we sort of go down. Hey, thank you, Ben. Appreciate it. Appreciate the cowboy hat. Gabby, welcome in. Good to see you. Appreciate everybody jumping in the live, by the way. If you haven't hit the like button or subscribed or drop me a follow on TikTok, you definitely should do it. We're closing in on 40,000 subscribers, everybody on YouTube. Hit the follow button, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely making it happen right now. 40,000 subscribers. Who the hell would have thought we'd got that? Which means I'm only 60,000 away from a plaque. All right? 60,000, get to 100,000 and get a cool plaque that I can put on the wall up here. Like 2-bit crypto. Hits 100,000 subscribers. That'd be bullish. I'd still be doing the same stuff that I'm doing now. So yeah, share the word. Share the love, everybody. Let people know we're here. Even if the government created Bitcoin, which would be the first time government created value, it wouldn't, would it? It's that thing, isn't it? It's too big to fail right now. Too big to fail. Yeah, I don't. Sometimes TikTok's great, and sometimes just no one comes here, but it's fine. I mean, I'm streaming anyway on YouTube, so those videos YouTubers losing everything trading on their live streams is quite amusing. I imagine it is. I imagine it is. Yeah, imagine, Mark. It's wild, isn't it? 40,000 would be super bullish. Bullish. Got to get there yet, though. Got to get there. All right, everybody. Okay. Yeah, I think so as well, there. I think so as well. You mean a plaque alongside your fluorescent tube and name tag that you haven't yet put on your wall? I mean, yeah, it's here. But it's only because I'm going to redo the office, by the way. I'm going to redo this room into like a streaming room. As well as buying a new computer as well. So yeah, we're going to build a little hut in the garden of my missus to go and like do her work in there. And then this becomes literally the YouTube hub of everything. This is where it's all going to happen. Go and give 2-bit follow. Thanks, Fairground. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is where it's all going to happen here. It's where we take the channel to a next level. Going to be super bullish and everything. Right. Anyway, so Bitcoin right now, 70,600. Futures markets look pretty good. Futures trading looks limp. I think it's probably a fair description right now. Proper limp, actually. Let's take a look really quickly at the liquidations and see what's going on. Where is sentiment for this week? No, I'm all right. Thank you. Just pull me the chart up, bro. In the world, just holding their breath while USA figures out their laws. I mean, maybe. I mean, Trump allegedly is kind of like, hey, I'm going to be bullish. Gold looks like it's going to open up. Yeah, positive. Oh my God, come on, bro. Why is it not logging me in here? Why is it not logging me in here? Yeah, gold commodities market actually looks like it's going to open up pretty well. So yeah, worth keeping your eyes on the prize. Right, here we go. We're in. We are in. This is. I want to see liquidations. Come on, bro. What is going on? There we go. There we go. Right, liquidation heat map is giving us some vibes right now. Again, lots of people believe that this market is going to go down. As you can see, if the market pumps, these are the amount of shorts that are going to get wrecked. So market believes that we are going down. Now that you could argue and say, well, markets tend to do the opposite. You know, maybe we'll see. We'll see. It's Spine News says fake bounce. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are calling that. A lot of people believe that to be the case. So that's on the 50-minute. Right, someone just joined the Discord. Are you in the live stream? If your name is, who's just joined the Discord? Harry, let me know. And Trading Temple, either of you two in the live stream, because you need to verify. And if you can't verify, then you know, I don't know what you're doing, but it's like the easiest thing in the world to verify. But yeah, I'm curious if you can or not. We all know blockchain and crypto are the future, and we all in. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I had to guess, based on my attempts at being long, we get a little pump and then we go lower. I think so as well, Fat Sonic. I definitely think that the market will. I mean, I just feel like we could definitely get a really nasty US Open because remember, whenever commodities move up, historically we see a push down in BTC. I mean, we looked at that last time, haven't we? So if we put gold on here, just an indication. Did it put it on there? Gold. What the hell is it? What is that? Oh, it's because it's closed, isn't it? Bruh. Oh, bruh. It's annoying, isn't it? Okay, let me bring the daily up. Let me bring the daily up. So yeah, whenever we generally see, you know, the opposite generally happens, doesn't it? So again, you can see this. Look, we come down. I mean, it's probably the first time we actually came down with BTC, but you can see gold goes up, BTC comes down. We got an uptick in commodities and a downtrend in Bitcoin. Maybe it flips the other way. I personally think it's going to climb up before that's me being bullish. I mean, it may do, Fairground. It may be. Dow did amazing. Yeah, the Dow broke 50,000. I mean, that's wild. I mean, but that's the thing, isn't it? As we've said before, you know, the stock market probably still ends up with, you know, people pushing more and more in. And if stocks are rallying, as is with US equities, by the way, and treasury markets, if they're all moving up to the upside, people aren't going to go risk on in Bitcoin. Like, what's the point? What's the point, man? 69% of you believe that Satoshi's dead. What are gold and silver doing? They're pretty solid in fairness. So gold sitting currently at the futures market, by the way, open around 5,000. So gold looks like it's set to rally. Silver the same as well. Not quite as crazy as we've seen, but yeah, they certainly look like they're going to be set to rally a little bit. So yeah, worthwhile seeing what happens in there. Gold price and silver price 77. They had a big move on Friday, didn't they? Copper moving as well. So Jay says dead cat bounce. Yeah, look, I'm in the same camp, by the way. I think it's a dead cat bounce as well. So yeah, we'll see. Russell looks like it's going to open a little bit. MicroStrategy bounced back 26% on Friday, again with a sailor buy allegedly coming in. So we'll see what that looks like, whether he does or doesn't. We'll see. And then see what happens with tech stocks. I mean, I'm not sure. There's some quite big earning reports this week, I think, coming in. Let's have a look. That's not what I want to see. That's what I want to see. The majority is usually wrong. That's true. That's true. So what have we got? Trump tariffs fueled US customers. I mean, we've got CPI Friday, haven't we? So European stock closed higher. That was all Friday. Futures and commodities. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I think we've looked at this, haven't we? So there's not really a lot going on here. We've sort of talked about this before. We've talked about this before. All right. It's hard to sell. It's hard to tell those who the majority of what the market wants to do. Exactly. You got to just make your own decisions. Satoshi, yeah. I mean, Vincent, I saw some really bizarre pictures today on X, and it was like, yep, it's still alive. Too bad I know you're ready either way, but you seem pretty sure of downside. It's in the charts, pair groups you're in, or just a feeling. I'm curious. So, probably from what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, a couple of people I talked to, that I'm just, you know, I'm probably in a world where it feels unlikely that, I mean, by the way, as well, we could definitely consolidate sideways. I just think this capitulation down probably tells me we're not fully done yet. And if you think about it, this would, I mean, are we going to trend sideways for like the longest time? I just think there's a lot of potential. And like I said very early on in the stream, it doesn't make sense that Bitcoin's pumped 2% today and the rest of the market's garbage. Well, I mean, obviously the exception of a couple of coins. So my bear bull barometer is telling me that I'm more bearish than bullish, which I've now been for what, month, 6 weeks maybe. I've been saying that like I'm short-term bearish, long-term bullish. So yeah, and just my view, the fact that we kind of struggle here at 71,800. We'll see. I think, you know, I think this week will be a good one to see whether everyone will kind of chill out. Longs are building back up again, which tells me that historically we've seen those big liquidation events that come in and wreck everybody that's going long again. So you've got a lot of people buying longs, a lot of people going longs on the market, which historically ends up painful, in my opinion. Yeah, really weird. I thought algorithm would pump alts. Yeah, that's true. But I'm on already because I feel like when I bought is good enough for me. I mean, that's the thing. If you bought it at 60k, like, who the hell cares if we go down? Think about it. We could go 55k, which would be an insanely low value. And you're like, it's probably still all right in fairness, isn't it? It's probably still all right in the longer term. There's a guy who works down the chip shop, swears he's Elvis. Really? Get his autograph. Tell him to sing a song. That's my opinion. All right. So Bitcoin did rally back. So you see, we said that, didn't we? Although the wick down, but didn't quite get to that long position. But again, this will be it. I mean, if you think about this as a potential short-term scalp trade, I'm not saying to do it, by the way. You know, you essentially, that was the, peak here. You get the lower high, sorry, the lower low, or the higher low, as it were. Higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Very much a macro downtrend here on the 5 minute, work your way up. That's all you have to do, isn't it? And see kind of where all that sits. In my opinion. But yeah, arguably on that, on this setup on the 5 minute. Now, 5 minutes are obviously super wild to trade if you are going to trade that. But as you go up in time frames, generally lower your margin. That would always lower your leverage. That would be my view. I mean, look at that as a like insane chart pattern here in the 15-minute chart. Whoop, 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 whoop. Important to think about, where does that move go? Historically, what do we see when we get that? The M pattern normally then comes down, retests the lower range from the start, which would be here. So, you could argue that, that's the M pattern. And then you'd argue that that is. So, if you were thinking about maybe trading this, you could take a higher range. Again, and here's the point. If it breaks here, then you'd be like, oh, maybe we come back up. But if you were taking long, that's perfect. 71.098. Short from there. I mean, we could do it. Like, we could set that trade up. So you go along here from, oops, I did not mean to do that. Yeah, so if you were doing that, so if let's say, for example, right, so I want to go long, I'm going to go short here from, so the chart where I'm thinking 71, let's call it, so 71.111. Please make sure it's on isolated, and we're going to do, let's do 6x leverage. So not super crazy. And then, depending on how much money you've got in your account, depends on what you want to do. Let's say 25% of what my entire portfolio is. I don't know what that is. Like $1,000 or something like that. Always, in my opinion, you put take profits and stop losses on. So take profit would be this wick here. So like, just so you go 70,000 maybe and 50, because I want it slightly above. So if it does wick down to there. So on a 25%, just to give you an idea what this looks like, by the way. So this would be, what would be the leverage on here? I can't think. I can't see it. 25% would be, bro, why can't I even see it? Oh, here, cost USD. So it'd be like $2,000. It's like a $2,000 trade. Obviously, you can increase it and do everything. So that would take us on a bigger leverage. So 672 if that trade hit. Zebek is temperamental, but pretty volatile for gains. Yeah, it's a good trade if you can trade it. Yeah. Bitcoin, Bijam. Hey, Tibet, can we please look at Swiftcoin? Have a bunch and hoping it can bounce. Yeah, I mean, we looked at that earlier on. So, yeah. But by the way, if you're going to do this and then stop loss, I'd set the stop loss pretty tight on this, just FYI, and then we'll take a look at Swiftcoin, definitely. So my stop loss, that would historically be the line there, 71,265. But you go a little bit higher, so above the previous high, which would be like in the middle there, 71,412. So if it hits that, I'd lose 190 bucks. It's better than losing your entire portfolio. And then, again, you're just going to open that short at that point. So then if you click open short, it's going to come up and say, hey, this is what you want to do. Blah, 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 blah. And you click it and go in at that. So that'd be where I'd set. Pendle is an okay in my opinion as well. So let's bring up, yeah, we were looking at Swiftcoin earlier on. Here it is. Here it is. So probably an interesting level right now here on the daily. If it breaks above the 20-day EMA, then yeah, you might get a nice little rally here. Look. There's not a lot sitting at this range. So if we can hold this line, I mean, look at that support line. We must have had that drawn on ages ago. Thank you for the 5, by the way. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you can get a push up here, retest the 50, then you might be in for a good spot. Maybe. I mean, what are we looking for there? Holding right now, but between 786 and the 618 where it got rejected at. So you want to see a little bit further pushing to the upside. I think 618 at 2044 could give you an indication this is going to go higher, but we'll see right now. It does look like it's struggling at the 20-day EMA. If you get a market push, by the way, then you might get a little bit more. Risk is at 13.5% move to the upside. That's a pretty big risk anyway. That's a pretty big risk. Have I missed any questions here? No. Everyone's just chilling on TikTok. Anyone use Polymarket? No, not really. I don't think I'm allowed. I tried to use the MetaMask one, but I couldn't use it. But I think, isn't the Patriots are like everyone's betting for the Patriots? Is that right? Yeah, so look, 12 hour, by the way, Swiftcoin. I would be mindful on this. Just my opinion, by the way. Just my opinion. Longer term, is it going to be all right? I mean, look at the money flow, by the way. Money flow is flowing out of Swiftcoin after that big move. So I don't know why that's pumped, but 4.6. I mean, that must have been a big move, like nearly 20% on the overall day. Baymax says, Swift is a move, loving the momentum behind Swiftcoin right now, fast, efficient, and built for real-world crypto swaps. There you go. Is it Seattle that's favored? There you go. Shows how much I know. But yeah, look out for it. It's 11:30. So, yeah, today 11:30. So I may put it on and then, yeah, we can stick it in the Discord and just kind of hang out in the Discord and watch it. It'd be kind of fun. We haven't ever done anything like that. It'd be kind of cool to do that. So yeah, implied odds are what? 68% on victory for Seattle. So they're 16-3 and 17-3. I mean, I don't know that. I feel like I've definitely seen these two before. I feel like the Patriots won last time, though. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But yeah, maybe we do that. That'd be kind of fun to do that in the Discord, I think. Like I said, we've not done anything like that before, so. Right, BTC, where is it at right now? 710. Doesn't look like it's going to make it up to that potential trade that we were going to do. And again, I've said a number of times, it's like, who cares? If it doesn't make it, then fine. Don't stress it. That's my opinion. And just look for another entry. There's no point FOMOing in, Craig. It's never a good idea to FOMO into any sort of trade. Because that's why, like late traders, that's what normally gets people wrecked. Just my opinion, so. Japan will crash the markets open tonight. People who buy the dip now will be exit the liquidity. Apex, I mean, we literally talked about that. I don't think anything's been announced yet, other than the fact that she's won and that she's going to be the new PM for Japan. But yeah, I mean, definitely could be a risk. If they pump the stimulus into that market and strengthen the yen, yes, you're going to see some pretty interesting stuff. Patreon, last time Seattle made a bad call at the end of the game. Oh, there you go. I kind of like American football. The market thinks Seattle wins 2 out of 3 matches. And there you go. Bullish. Let's see. We should do another poll really quickly. End poll. End poll. Let's do another poll really quickly. Start a poll. Who wins the Super Bowl? I'll put New England. In fact, I'll just put New England or Seattle. I can't be bothered to type it all. So any is New England unless is that. Mr. Non-Fungible, what's going on, my man? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm good, mate. All good. All good. Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Yen and the dollar strength is probably mostly placed in the crypto markets. I think so. I don't think the carry trade's as big as loads of people believe it is, in my opinion. I wish it was the Eagles. I don't know who they... Well, no, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Who are the Eagles? Denver? I know, is it Miami Dolphins? I know that. Anyway. No, I agree, Mike. My first one was actually registered, and then the last 3 I FOMO just because I had some profit at the first lesson. I'm a New England's Patriots fan, but I think Seattle has this one. Oh, what? Bro. Crystal Palace. What? Starts 10:30 UK. I thought it was 11:30 Fairground. The yen is on the brink of collapse, and this is the more aggressive move that the Met. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Crystal Palace Eagles. Oh, no, we're talking about Super Bowl. Who is it? Who is it? The New England would be Denver. Tim's, I'm a Broncos fan. Man, I feel like I'm missing out with this American football stuff. Anyway, everybody, this does bring us, I think, to about the end of the stream. We've been live for an hour and 20 minutes right now. So, yeah, I'll just have the route for the East Coast of the Patriots. So, anyway, we'll see if this trade plays out. I'm going to leave this on here. Let's see if it plays out. Keep your eyes peeled on it. If Bitcoin wicks to 71,000, then that'll trigger, and we'll see. We'll write it down, and let's see how this trade plays out. We might get it wrong. We might get liquidated. Well, we won't get liquidated, but the stop loss might hit that upper range. We will see. All right? Could be interesting. But anyway, you guys, it's a 50-50. Oh, my God. TikTok, who do you think's going to win? New England Patriots or Seattle Seahawks? Let us know. Let us know. I'm going with the New England Husker. Just because you found, yeah, well, that's it. Looking for my short when the game starts. Well, we can do American football and crypto. I imagine that's going to be brilliant. It's going to be brilliant. Big week ahead, Mr. Non-Fungible. Yeah, CPI on Friday could be pretty tasty. Could be pretty tasty, especially given the recent moves on that as well. So, you know, we had a lot of good news coming in last week. Equally, we obviously had that massive dump as well. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, not a lot tomorrow, which is kind of good. Wednesday, we get jobs data. Well, we'll see. We'll see what jobs data looks like. And then we're into Friday where we get CPI and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah, big week, as always. Starting tonight with the Super Bowl. If you're not in the Discord, by the way, get in the Discord. We may even have the Super Bowl on, as well as talking all things crypto as well. So, and obviously get all our trade guides, trade setups, everything else that's in there. $6 a month. Grab that. Totally worth it. Right. As always, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to everybody here on YouTube as well. Always appreciate the love and support you guys give. We'll be back tomorrow night, as always, 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. in the UK, live on TikTok and on YouTube. So don't miss it. Make sure that follow button's turned on and your notification bell is set to all. Until then, hopefully see some of you in the Discord later on. Super bullish as always. Thank you so much, everybody. Catch you on the flip side. soon.